My name is Keith Zeier. I'm a reconnaissance Marine who served both 2nd Reconnaissance Battalion and the Marine Special Operations Battalion. I went into the Marines when I was 17. 17 is the youngest you could enter the military, and my mother had a sign for me to go into the military because I was under 18. People often ask me why I've joined the Marines. I would say the main reason is my best friend, Mike Lucreci. His dad was a fireman on 9/11. And I grew up with it. His dad was like a dad to me, and when he passed away, that definitely sealed the deal for me, as in, this is what I was going to do. I entered the Marines young, but I matured quickly in the reconnaissance community. It didn't take long to realize that my teammates weren't just my friends, they were my brothers. You're fighting because you want to protect the ones you're with, and that's the only reason you're doing that. You don't want to let the guy to your left or right down, and that's one of the things. Is you fight for each other. The doctor told me, like, oh, it's Bethesda. He's like, obviously things have changed, but he's like, I know you're an active person, but like, don't expect to not walk without a cane. So I have no feeling from my knee to my hip anymore, and but I still get the pain from that. I get burning pain from the nerve damage, as well as it feels like there's a knife in me. I was in and out of the hospital and rehab for nearly a year. The rehabilitation process was the most difficult time in my life. I wouldn't take no for an answer, and I just pushed it through the pain. On May 16th, 2009, I am running a 100-mile ultra-marathon from Key Largo to Key West, Florida, in honor of the fallen Recon Marines and Special Amphibious Reconnaissance Corpsmen who have laid down their life in defense of this country, and to raise money for the families of the fallen and wounded warriors of the Special Operations community. I run in honor of them and the job that they love to do. Not a day passes that I do not think of the sacrifices they have made and how it has impacted their families, friends, and loved ones. My leg prevents me from running the miles I should in order to train for this race. Instead, I use a strict CrossFit regimen.
It's pretty impressive to watch him come in and work out, particularly considering the injuries and wounds he's had. Kind of the difference between a good CrossFitter and a great CrossFitter is when you're tired and sucking wind and trying not to throw up, that you still have one more rep in you. And watching Keith, he walked in without that turn-off switch, which is pretty impressive. We try to build fire breathers. He walked in as a fire breather, which was very cool to work with.
The Special Operations Warrior Foundation provides college scholarships, grants, and educational counseling to the children of Special Operations personnel who were killed in combat. They also provide immediate assistance to the families of severely wounded personnel so that they can be by their loved one's bedside during the recovery process. It's helped out my family. When I was hurt, for example, it gave my mother money to be able to have the means to come down, travel, to be at my bedside while I'm in recovery. So that meant a lot to her, and also helped to see like my family and friends who I haven't seen
especially coming straight to the hospital from being wounded in Iraq.
If I could wish for anything, it's just by the end of this, just to make an impact on so many lives, just whether it be inspirational, as well as most importantly raising awareness for my friends and their families and how that impacts their lives, because that's the most important thing. That I live with that every day of my life, you know, is thinking like, you know, the sacrifice that they made. And it's like I almost feel guilty for living the life I live right now, you know. Not for a day do I wish that, you know, it wasn't me that was in that position rather than my friends. You know, every time I get that retirement check, every time I get the disability check, you know, it makes me think, you know, I'm alive, my friends aren't. And it's like, I know if it was the other way around, I know I would want my friends to just, you know, push the limits in life and just do as much good things as they can. And that's kind of the example and the baseline for the life I try to live.
With Memorial Day around the corner, there's no better way to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for this country by donating to a charity as worthy as the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. You have the power to make a difference in the lives of the families who have been affected by the loss of these brave warriors.